Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So guys, in this particular section we are talking about Play Geometry Manager. Okay, so it's working like a grid and it's working like a path, but something is different. Okay, so let's get started and let me tell you that how exactly it's working. So before we're talking about that, let's import our packages, which is from Tkinter import star, and then uh, we doesn't require TTK. Okay, so if you are using if you wanted to use some kind of TTK buttons, or maybe if you wanted to use some kind of TTK packages, then you can probably import that, but I don't want to import that particular thing, so I'm directly accessing a root section, which is our main variable. And then now the first thing that I wanted to cover up is that let's say let's create a login form. Okay, so let's start it, and first, which is our label, is equals to uh, label, and in the label I wanted to assign our main variable, which is root, and the text is like, let's say, login. Okay, so login form. But the thing is, when you wanted to use a Play Geometry Manager, you need to get that in a place format. Okay, so let's start it. Let me tell you that how exactly is working right now. And the first thing about that, which is, you need to just type label dot and place, and that's pretty much it. And in the place, you need to assign value x and y. You know what x and y is axis, right? So x and y, if you are coming from the graph background, then you probably know about it, right? What is x and what is y? So first, x is equals to, let's say, 20, and let's say y is equals to 20. Okay, and after that, let's just say, let's run this, let's check how it's working. Geometry, and then the geometry is 400 multiplied by 400. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And now let's create our main loop, so that's why you can understand it in better way, and let's just start to run it. Plus, okay, so now you can see this login form is here, and now you can see this our text has been just going on to the x 20 and y 20. Okay, so if you wanted to upgrade it, let's say x is 50, then we can surely catch up at okay, so I hope that its x-axis is going to be that particular direction, and if you wanted to assign the y, so it's going to be upper direction. So that's why, let's say, let's create onto it in middle section, so that's why you can understand it on the better way. Okay, so for to get a center, we also required almost 100. So to get a middle login form, I'm just increasing the size of my, let's say, x-axis, just like 150, and then I'm surely can check that out how it's exactly working. So now you can see this is exactly onto the middle section. Okay, so you can use it. And now let's take a buttons. Okay, so first we need a label, which is two labels. Okay, so I'm just creating label 1 is equals to label, and then let's say, oh, root, text will be, let's say, username. Obviously, when you are creating in a login form, the username is always been presented. And now after that, let's create a label 2 with this control D, and let me just create a label 2 here, and that particular label contains a password. Okay, that's pretty much it. And now I'm just assigning that it is a password. Okay, so I'm just talking about that Play Geometry Manager. I don't want to include any kind of commands and any kind of function for that, so just feel free to explore that. It's very easy. Just consider that it's any kind of layout. Okay, if you're coming from the Android background, just consider it as a layout. Okay, and let's just say that after assigning the label 2, what I wanted to assign, any kind of entry. Okay, so entry 1 will be like, let's say, entry, and at that point of entry, let's assign root, and that's pretty much it. I hope that's well. And let's take a entry 2. What I wanted to do, I just wanted to command it and entry 2. Okay, now let's place that, but before we placing out, let's create a button for submit. I know you might be thinking like, hey, you are not using any button. Feel free to explore that root, and then let's say text will be submit, right? So submit is it my text, and I hope that's pretty much it. And let's assign a place value for every single tool or every single function, or every single tool you can say that. So now I'm just creating the label main section, and then I'm just creating the change the first label, so you can change it by yourself. And after the label one, I'm just assigning the place section here, okay? And then the next thing is I just wanted to control date and control X, and then I wanted to assign it for label 2, but the label 2 will be going to the X position, will be, let's say, it's going to be 40, okay? And then my y-axis, no, my x-axis will be 20, but y-axis will be on 60. So that's why it can getting a better gap between both of the labels. And then my entry will be on place, let's say our entry 1, which is for label 1, right, for the username. And then uh, for the label 1 we are assigning the x value, which is 20. And then I wanted to assign x value will be on, let's say on maybe let's say 60, okay? And then our y will be as the same as our label 1, okay? So y will be on 40. So it's completely fine, you can just try yourself. You know what, it's better to understand after some time. And y will be on 60, okay? So I hope that makes sense. And after all thing is ready, I wanted to assign a button for it, okay? We are creating the button, but we wanted to place it out on the particular section. So the place will be on let's take an example here, which is our first label, which is x will be the 150. So we are assigning x is 150, okay? And then our y will be on let's say this is 60 or 80, okay? So 80, you can choose 100 also, it's completely your choice, okay? I'm just checking out that 100, it will be great. And now you can see this, hey, it's completely wrong, right? Username is not catching up that. So what I need to do here, I just wanted to increase the x-axis on entries, okay? So I wanted to increase it like 150, and let's pick up here 150, okay? So now if I just save it and if I just run it again, and now you can see this is our login form. So you can create by yourself. The place is working like a pack and grid, but if you are for the login form, if you are using the grid, it's better choice, okay? So it's completely your choice. If you wanted to use any other particular option, then you can always use it, okay? It's completely your choice. So this is the place geometry manager, and you can use it by yourself. It's completely fine, okay? So hope you are enjoying this particular series, and I hope that you are enjoying all the sections. So let's catch me up in the next one, and in the next one we are talking about frames.